Hey, good morning to all of you. So, in the same topic, methods of drug evaluation, we have seen the macroscopic and microscopic characteristics of the crude drugs or identification. Next 2 points for our syllabus, chemical and physical methods of drug evaluation. So, here you are observing the good photographs of the some crude drugs are there. Cinnamon is there, or the other drugs like the ginger or turmeric powder is there, then leaves of senna leaves, sonamukhi, then osimum, tulsi leaves are there. So nextly there are the flower drugs like the saffron, म्हणजे केशर म्हणतो आपण त्याला. So केशर is the part of a female organ, that is the gynecium is there. Then almond, amla fruits are there. So in these fruits, then seeds are there which are developed from the ovules in the carpels, and these good example generally it is seen for the sesamum, right? Then there are the ficus are there, anjir vagere. Then color, this generally you are observing terminalia cebula hirda in the natural and after drying, the fresh and the dried conditions are there. Then nextly, with respect to this, so which are the physical evaluation methods? So in physical evaluation, the different drugs, stem drug, root drug, fiber drug, flower drug, fruit drug are there. So here you are observing there is having the elasticity in the fiber, then viscosity of the drugs, then congealing the points of volatile or the fixed oil if there is there, then its melting point, boiling points are important. Then how much water content is present in the crude drug, it is to be also studied. The some important parameters, that is the measures are used generally ultraviolet rays, generally fluorescence on the extracts, they are studied. So it is for the purity of the drug. Then physical constants of the certain drugs are there, suppose alkaloids, volatile oils, fixed oils are there. So moisture test, then viscosity test, melting point test. Moisture, that is how much water is present in the drug, right? Then secondly, refractive index. Refractive index we are observing, so suppose prism is there, so how the any ray generally shows the depletion. Then ash content, ash means after burning how much ash is per gram it is remain. Suppose 1 gram is there, it shows the 0.5 milligrams ash is there, or 10 milligram or 100 milligram, like this one. Then volatile oil content, how much oil is there, RF value, refractive index. Then viscosity, viscosity we are knowing, suppose our home edible oil is there, if we have kept this open, the tip the lid of this pot, so what happens, it becomes a semi solid, so it is called as viscous, so it get oxidized. So viscosity is checked. The liquid paraffin is generally showing the less than 64 centistokes, right? Liquid paraffin, it is added into the certain materials are there. Then moisture content is important, so any crude drug generally having the standard values are there. The good example, as we are observing, the moisture determined by the heating the drug at 150 degrees Celsius in the oven, and if it is showing the same weight, then there is the water loss is generally calculated, or the how much water loss is there, and it is called as the moisture content. Then melting point is there in a liquid drug, so it is judged by for the purity of the drug, and generally as the range shows the different. For example, cocoa butter, cocoa plant you are knowing, so it shows the 30 to 33 degrees Celsius melting point is there. Then optical rotation, that is many substances show having biological origin, so they shows the plane of polarized lines either to right or to the left. So how it is showing the rotation, and this extent of rotation either it is positive or negative. So we are knowing the dextrorotatory and the levorotatory, right, or the minus indication. The such compounds are optically active and hence called as the optical rotation. So you remember this point also for the physical evaluation. Then refractive index. Any ray or the light passes from one medium to another, so it shows different density and therefore it shows the bent from the original path, and it is measured by means of refractometer. Example, RH oil, groundnut oil, right? So groundnut oil having the refractive index 1.4678 to 1.4698. So it is the standard value of this oil. If it is added any one other oil, then it shows the less or more. Then ash content. The ash content means the residue generally remaining after incineration, that is burning of a known quantity of the air dried crude drug, is known as the ash content of the drug. Ash is simply represent the inorganic salts naturally occurring in the crude drug, so adhering to its deliberately added. For example, ashoka bark is there, Saraka indica, so it shows 11, ginger shows the 6%, right? So it is the burning wood is there or part. Then extractive values of crude drugs, they are generally determined by normal procedure. For example, water soluble extracts like aloe vera, so, or the alcohol soluble like in the ginger. So water solubility and the alcohol solubility is checked. Then volatile oil content. In the some drugs, volatile means which having the aroma or the smell, odor is there. So these are called as volatile. So the at the room temperature they shows the specific odor. So you are knowing there are the certain distillation units are there. So volatile oil is separated, rose oil, others are there. So there RF value, it is generally checked. Then RF value checked by chromatography. We are knowing chromatography technique for the separation of the these different contents are there. So distance traveled by compound divided by distance traveled by the solvent, it is give the RF value. Then chemical evaluation, it determination shows the active constituents in a drug, which chemicals are present. So chemical constituents, then different tests are there. So it makes easable. The different instruments are used for this colorimetry, fluorometry, spectrophotometry, etc. And this chemical constant test, they are showing the values of iodine value and the ester value, etc. Right? So you remember this one. Then secondly, microchemical tests are there. So they are carried out by the slides. Eugenol in clove oil. So it is generally precipitated. So this part is there. So you remember this one about the physical education. The remaining chemical evaluation we will see in the next lecture. Okay. Thanks to all.